There's something energizing, electrifying about hitting the record button. I'm serious. It's like, okay, we're just kind of laying it down now in concrete forever. And almost always GoToWebinar does a good job of recording it. Unfortunately, that 3-hour town hall marathon we had a week or two ago didn't capture the video. However, we got the audio. So I don't know if you've had a chance to listen. I need to go back and help Richard and the team dice it up into pieces. But wow, it was almost 3 hours of guest experts giving perspective and giving tips. Welcome everybody. My name is Stuart. This is the Power Hour. And boy, do we need a good Power Hour today. I'm going to start off with slides. I didn't start off with slides last time because I just needed just to talk, just to speak from the heart and share my perspective and some expert tips that I thought you might need to hear. I will start with slides today. If you have an issue, a question, a challenge, an opportunity, an observation, a perspective, as always, I would encourage you, please ask for me to unmute your mic. Some of you do it on occasion, and some of you have never given it a shot. I'm telling you now, if you're afraid of doing it for whatever reason, I respect that. But man, isn't it a good time to try something new right now, right here? Try it. I mean, I'll unmute you, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, we'll all get to hear your beautiful voice, say a couple of words, and I'll put you back on mute. It's really that simple. So I just want to encourage that, all right? And let me see here. We've got a great turnout today. If you are here as a guest, I did open this up to bootcamp alumni. You know, one of the things, friends, that I'm telling you all to do is, and we're going to get into the slides in just a second, is to, you know, what can you do to give back to your community? And this has been the travel entrepreneur community has been good to me for many years. So I sent a note out kind of last second this morning because I woke up this morning saying, why didn't I do this? So for the whole month of April, we have 3 power hours, and I'm inviting alumni to come back in because right now more than ever we need connectivity, we need communications, we need to comfort each other, we need to support each other, and it's good to know that hey, everyone is in the same boat and we're all dealing with it, coping with it in different ways. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting inspiration from my colleagues, my mentors, my coaches, my followers, and my family. You know, this is what we need right now more than ever before. So I'm going to put show the slide right now, which you all should see that opening slide. Let me just take a quick look at the question box here. Say some good mornings to everybody. I already welcomed in the early birds: Julia, Ramona, Amy, Debbie, Nancy, Karen, and let me see, Kay's in the house. Karen said that her host agency did a staff meeting yesterday using Zoom. So one of the questions I have that I mentioned before I hit record, before you may have gotten here, is what's your experience being a guest or attending a Zoom session versus a GoToWebinar session? Zoom is a newer platform. It's different in some ways than GoToWebinar. I'm very comfortable with GoToWebinar, and I'm trying to determine if I need to make a switch or if this is working out okay. Because remember, there's also GoToMeeting that I really don't use with you guys and gals, but that's different. So I'm glad to hear, Karen, it went well. So if you have anything to share with me about Zoom versus GoToWebinar, let me know as a participant, unless you own a license too. Good morning, Linda. Linda's in the house. And okay, Karen, awesome. You started off with a question. Dan's in the house. Sorry, there was traffic getting from the kitchen to the patio. Dan, there you go. Gotta bring some levity, right? We got to have some levity. I got to say that again. That was hilarious. Dan said, basically, sorry for being late. He came in 3 minutes late, which ain't so bad. Traffic getting from the kitchen to the patio. That's funny. And my commute has always been 15 steps down and hang a left. Leslie's in the house. Hello, Leslie. Welcome. Scott's here. Good morning, Scott. Doreen. Hi, Stuart and everyone. It's my third power hour. I'm so glad you're here, Doreen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dan used to go to meeting on Zoom. Both are about the same. So that's Dan's takeaway. And I appreciate that, Dan. Linda said my family uses Zoom to do family calls. Cool. And Trinita's in the house. Good morning, Trinita. All right, here we go. So as I said, let me start off with slides. Karen, I know you've already asked 2 questions, which is awesome. I'm grateful. And folks, as you're watching these slides, do me a favor and type in if you have a question, if you have something to share, if you want your microphone unmuted. As I like to say, don't get stuck in the mud. Type it out. Make a note. Tell me to hang on, stop, go back, that kind of stuff, so that we can tackle it. This is our time together, and I value this. I really look forward to it. So I want you to know that today would have been my live broadcast from Moon Palace, Cancun. So not only did our mastermind for owners, as you guys know more, so some of you on this call right now, we're supposed to have been there. Of course, that's been postponed to Jamaica, but I would have been right now at Moon Palace Cancun doing a group summit for Nexion. Waiting for new dates on that. So there you go. We do have 2 more coming up in April because it just turned out we've got 3 coaching sessions, 3 power hours. And I'm going to see, I know Karen is really pushing for this, and I love you that you're pushing for it, Karen D, to do some role playing. And for me to do the role playing, I would absolutely positively want that other person to have their webcam on. That's a challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out information to you that if you want to participate in the role playing, and role playing means, hey, let's act it out. Let's do it. Karen wants me to actually play the role of an agent, make it a sales call to a prospective group leader, stuff like that. But, this kind of stuff, I love being put to the test. And because what's fun when you do role playing is you can say stuff and say, oh, wait a minute, let me try that again, right? Because it's practice, and practice makes perfect. And it may not be such thing as perfect, but as close to perfect as we can get, which is why we practice. So I'm going to try to do it the 14th, as long as I have a couple of people who are willing to turn on the webcams and the microphone so we can see each other. That's the way that's got to go down. So let me know either here or send me a message, an email or whatnot, if you want to be one of those people doing the role playing stuff. That would be fun. All right. My guess is you know exactly who this is. It's one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite movies from Willy Wonka. And he's got a lot of great lines, right? But this one I want to pick up on today, which is there's so much time and so little to do. Do you remember that? It's hilarious. And I guess depending how we look at our times today, we can say, okay, we're not making any new sales. It'd be, whatever. Everything is upside down, inside out, and I have so much time in my hands. Now, I have a feeling that this is not, it doesn't resonate with you because you're finding stuff to do. I'm sure you're finding, and I sure hope you are. Okay. However, I'd like to, show you some stuff that I think you can be doing if you haven't thought of it yet. Now, my guess is you've been with me a couple times already, and you've attended other programs, and you've been receiving perspective and tips, whether it was from the town hall that I did with Richard Earls and 16 special guests. But I just want to run down this list because possibly maybe you forgot about something. And if I could plant a seed and give you an idea, I want to. Friends, there's no better time then right now, if you've always said, oh, man, I wish I could start writing a little article, a little paragraph, or a blog, whatever you want to call it. It could be a sentence. Write something. And it just turns out that, you know, I love writing, but I'm not good at typing out when I write. So right before we had our pandemic crisis, I went and I bought an iPad because I like handwriting. Even though I can't read my handwriting, I tend to be more fluid, more creative, because I'm not worried about typos and going back and adding spaces and this kind of stuff. And I actually, I'm able to write on the iPad and then turn it to text. So I'm writing more than ever. Are you? Or if you are, tell us, let us know, share it. Share it. Please, let's share it. Let's inspire each other. How about those letters you said you would always handwrite? Do it. If there's no better time than now, just a note that says thinking of you. I hope you're well. I know your birthday's coming up. I know this is coming. You said whatever, reference something specific, write it out beautifully while you're binge watching Netflix. Write some letters if you haven't yet. Have you? Let me know. Have you tried? I see so many more videos and TikToks. I had no idea what TikTok is. Now I do. I'm not terribly impressed. You know, call me crazy. I like Snapchat. But have you done a Facebook Live? Now's the time to try it. Go ahead, do it. Just do it. Have some fun. It doesn't have to be long. It could be 30 seconds. Some of you are telling me you're signing up for certification courses, and that's awesome. In fact, in boot camp, in our Facebook group, I see some of you, like Karen D said, you know what? There's some stuff I need to go back and watch, or there's some stuff I need to watch that I never watched before. Now's the time to go do it. Go do it now. And in fact, some of you were with me when I re-recorded Group Launch Sequence, which among all other things, may be the most powerful marketing tool in the resource library. Group Launch Sequence, right? That's after you have the group and you've got your group agreement letter signed, and now it's time to launch to get people to sign up. I re-recorded that, but I have not put it into boot camp yet. If you want the link to that, please message me, not here because I don't want to miss it. Send me an email and I'll give you that link. But I promise you, because I'm actually updating boot camp. I'm in the process of updating it, and so it's not visible yet. What other certification courses do you need to re-watch, reread, or sign up for, especially if it's online and you could do it when you want, at any time you want? Demolish and rebuild your website. Well, I'm in the process of doing that with StuartLloydCohn.com. I got too busy. It got old. It got stale. I got a new story to tell, different stories to tell. What a great time. Just and to find all those broken links and to get them fixed. When's the last time you went to your site and clicked on every link and said, oh my gosh, I didn't realize all this time it wasn't connected to Facebook. It wasn't connected to LinkedIn. It goes to a 404 page missing page. That's not good. I've had that happen on my site. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. It's our job. It's our role to stay on top. Hey, stuff happens. But if we can avoid it, we need to. Rewrite your story. Are you still talking to, well, we book everything, you know, we're a generalist, or is it time to really declare your niche and rewrite your story? Is it time? Now's the time. How about your social media profiles? Let me tell you something. I get people all day long wanting to join boot camp into our private Facebook group, and of course they have to be members to get in. I got travel professionals all day long want to get into the Facebook group Sales Success Summit. Now that's not a membership group, although I don't allow just anybody in. I do a little pre-screening because every once in a while, and I think it's Ramona, you know this, and some of you know this, somebody gets in there and post something, they're promoting something, or they're getting off subject, or they're promoting one of their multi-level whatever tier things, and I got to bounce them out. But I screen everybody, and I don't allow a good amount of people in, because I will click their their about. Do you do this on Facebook? When you don't know the person, do you click about? And friends, if I don't see anything that they're in the travel business, they're not coming in. I don't understand. Why wouldn't that be in your profile? What about LinkedIn? I just talked to my dear friend Teddy the other day. You know, our LinkedIn, and some of you took his mastermind. That where do you need to go back and look at that profile that you set up 5 years ago that you haven't updated? Now's the time. Are you updating? And I think, Karen, you did this, uploading your content list to a CRM all the time. I hear travel professionals saying, oh yeah, my host offers this, my franchise offers this, my consortia offers this, and I just have never had time to learn it. Learn it now. Do it now. Clean up that list. That's so critical, especially now. Oh, by the way, let me mention something. If you were a restaurant right now, if you were a restaurant, you're hurting big time, right? Big time, you're hurting. The restaurants who captured email addresses, who built their social media presence so they could tell their fans, their followers, hey, we're closed and we're open for takeout and we're doing events, they're the ones that have a chance of having a robust rebound, a robust rebound. Say that 3 times fast, robust rebound, because they're keeping in touch with their followers, their fans. Too many restaurants, whether it's small or big, take for granted that, hey, you're going to love us and you're going to keep coming in to buy from us. And now they're desperate. How do you get the word out? If nobody's on the road driving by your restaurant, and even if you were smart enough to put a big sign that says, to go, place to go orders now, we'll deliver to your door, which blows my mind. So many restaurants don't even have a sign. It's a little 8 by 11 piece of paper typed out, and you have to be at the door to read it. But the traffic is slow now. So friends, if you've got that list, if you've never created your list, now's the time. And learn how to use those tools. Learn how to use the tools so that you can become a much more efficient operation. So let me go on here. So it's not only what you could do internally for your infrastructure to help you build a better foundation so your business runs smoother and more effectively and efficiently, but it's about the consumers. And of course, we've been talking about this whole time, but I want to dive in a little deeper here, because consumers right now, of course, we're all consumers. So whatever you're feeling, they're feeling, but they're also wondering now, hey, are you more interested in me or my money? And here, that's why I've been calling this a leadership moment. Friends, that's why I call it a leadership moment. And no matter how awesome you were in the past, we're all going to be judged by what we do in the present. Do you understand that? They may love you to pieces, but right now they're watching you. Are you going to be a strong, steadfast leader or not? See, your worth, also known as value, will be greatly appreciated or depreciated when this crisis is over. You can't wait. Now's the time to establish your value. You probably have heard this before, but the Chinese word for crisis is actually composed of 2 characters signifying both danger and opportunity. Danger and opportunity. So I'm encouraging you, if you haven't yet, is to reframe today by leaning in rather than hiding out and embracing this leadership moment. Let me tell you how. Number 1, understand that yesterday's business plan is grounded. I've got to believe there ain't no way you're doing the same old things that you've been doing, because you're going to be getting diminishing results, and people will know because you're no longer relevant. It's like you're in space on a different planet. So friends, your new marketing plan is very simple. It's serving is the new selling, and it requires mindset and motion. Good intentions are one thing, doing something is altogether another. Today, some people will consult their trusted travel advisor, and some will wish they had one. You can make them glad they've got you. But how? How? So let me give you just a few ideas. Then we're going to open it up and I'll go back and read all of your questions and your points and see who wants to be heard. Number one here, prioritize an urgent reach out campaign and leave no one untouched. If you've done this, tell me you have. I want to know. My guess is if you're on this line right now, you're serious. You're serious and you've probably already done this. And let me review for you how I categorize your clients. I mean, it's so easy to call everybody in your database, everybody you know, just call them clients. Well, it's not really true. My personal humble opinion. So the client is somebody, of course, is booked and paid in full. Of course, these are the most critical right now because there's either been cancellations, postponements, or they're wondering what they should do if it's coming up in the future. Then you've got the prospect. The prospect were all those clients where sale was in progress. You can't drop the ball there. You got to stay in touch with them, keep loving on them. And of course, things may get pushed off. However, you don't want them calling somebody else when this crisis is over. You want them working with you. That's market share. You don't want to lose, you want to gain, because other travel entrepreneurs won't be doing this stuff. Of course, you've heard me say this before, the unclient, right? The unclient, I love this word. Those are your prior clients. They traveled in the past with you. And unfortunately, too many businesses in general just ignore them, say, oh, if they need me, they'll call me. But no, you need to be first in. And then, of course, you've got the shopper. And I think this is the biggest growth opportunity. They may be on your list and they be following you because they may not be, maybe have never had reason to purchase from you in the past, or they just stumble upon you now. And I believe this is your biggest growth opportunity. In fact, tell me, did you read my newest article? Did you read it? I've been running a series in TRO, Travel Research Online. It's called When Sales Tank and It's Not Your Fault. And my newest article just ran yesterday, and it's about shoppers. And the concept is, don't you wish you had a few good tire kickers today? You know, too many salespeople, unfortunately, when they hear the word shopper, they wince. Oh. And I think that's, pardon the expression, but that's the bass-ackwards attitude. Did you get that? Bass-ackwards. I believe we need to love thy shopper in good times and bad, because right now, if you don't got those shoppers, then the phones aren't ringing at all. Your inbox isn't dinging with new leads. Hey, can you help me? So maybe you got them in the past and you didn't really look at them, see them as opportunities. But let me tell you something. They wouldn't be in your inbox. They wouldn't be on the phone. They wouldn't be connecting with you if they didn't have a need, if they weren't afraid to do it on their own. Do you understand that? You've heard me say this before. Shoppers are critically important if you want to grow and build your business. They found you, and you need to be EBTW, easy to do business with, and reel them in. You know the expression, you hate to hear when somebody is looking around your store, and I know you may not have a retail location, but consider yourself the consumer when you're in their store, retail store, and they say, can I help you? And they say, oh, I'm just looking. Well, wouldn't you love to have lookers right now, right? Well, there's things you can do to reach out to them right now and to build that base of shoppers and show them some love. They're looking for a home. Let it be yours. Here we go. So how do you show leadership? Here's just a few concepts. Stay relevant. Don't change the subject. Friends, I'm still seeing emails coming in and posts and stuff that are completely, it's like you're on a different planet. It's like, oh, where are you? No, don't change the subject. Basically, enter the conversation in my head. You've heard this before. I didn't create that concept, but you talk to people. In order to be relevant and show that, hey, we're all in it together. You need to come from that perspective, and go ahead and make sure you rewrite your auto message content and show me that you're in touch, not out of touch, so that you stay top of mind. Because if you just have sort of newsletters and emails or whatever going out automatically, and there's no reference to today's issues, you're going to get unsubscribes from your list, from your emails, from your Facebook, from your social media. I'm convinced you need to promote knowledge, not product. That's just my professional opinion. I'm seeing ads and getting emails, and people are still pushing products and stuff. And for me personally, I also saw some emails sent out by travel professionals, and they were just too salesy. So be selling your knowledge and not your product. And you've heard me say this, offer to be their truth detector, because it's just darn confusing, especially what's going on in travel and hospitality, right? All they're hearing is the crazy, insane stuff. And if you can be a rock of fact, not fiction, you'll get a lot of respect from them, and they'll stay with you. And don't start a pity parade. This was my article last week about empathy. I see, and I love you, so I'm not looking at you. I'm not singling any of you out on this, but man, I'll tell you, I saw a lot of posts from travel professionals, social marketing saying, oh, commissions, we're hurting, that's not the message you want to put out, friends. No, because when the dust settles and the air clears, why would I want to come back and give you my business where you were begging for help, crying on my shoulder? Hey, I'm hurting too. This is the consumer who sees your post, and you probably won't be in business based on what I read you posting. Doom and gloom. Why would you be doom and gloom? You need to be a glimmer of hope versus a glint of gloom. Ooh, I like that. And one other thing, friends, listen, I think it's awesome that I don't know exactly what it looks like, but there's going to be some kind of potential financial assistance for travel professionals. I don't, that's great, but I'm not sure we need to put that in our social media saying, yay, we're getting financial. If you're communicating with family and friends, that's good. But for clients, unclients, prospects, and shoppers, yay, okay. But I own a restaurant. I'm dying over here. I got furloughed. I'm dying over here. You understand what I'm saying? Let's be real careful, friends. Be real sensitive. We should be giving empathy, not begging for it. Offer to be on the lookout. So you can start planting seeds, friends. Plant seeds of hope and future sales. What's wrong with saying this? What can I keep an eye on for you? There's nothing wrong with that. What can I keep an eye on for you? And part and parcel, Stuart, how referrals? How on earth could I ask for referrals right now? Sure can. For serving, not selling. Remember, serving is the new selling. Why can't you simply talk to all your clients, unclients, prospects, and shoppers and say, do you have any friends and family who need expert advice right now? I'm here to help. And I think one of our boot campers, was it Jennifer? She had said in a couple of power hours ago in the past, she said that she's putting out messages, hey, if you book with an online or direct, you need someone to talk to, call me. I think that's awesome. So inspiring. So inspiring. And really, finally, the final slide here. The only thing you should be selling is your good name. Is your good name, your integrity, your steadfast leadership, your knowledge. People like to be around other people who are positive. Don't you like being with, hearing from, reading, watching, talking to a positive person versus someone who's doing nothing but the moaning and the groaning? Well, a leader right now is no matter how much personally they're hurting and feeling some fear, friends. Of course, we all are, okay? But at the end of the day, we need to be steadfast, not be sending videos. I keep getting videos from people on FaceTime or whatever message. I'm not watching these videos. I'm going to get my news where I get my news, right from the source. I'm not listening to first hand, second, third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand. No. Okay. And I'm really being selective what I read, who I talk to, because I want to talk to other people who have chosen to be beacons of positivity and not negativity right now. And I encourage you professionally and personally to do the same. I really do. All right, I'm gonna shut that off right now. Let me come back. I've been doing a whole lot of talking, and I just want to make sure that I cover everyone's questions and follow-up stuff. We got a great group here. Thanks for being here. Here we go. Let me just get to some of the comments here. Then we're going to dive in. Karen, I am going to get back to your question in just a second. Karen said Zoom was lots of fun to be able to see the faces and everyone included. Yeah. So the only way we could see everyone's faces with this platform is if I use GoToMeeting. Problem with GoToMeeting is maximum capacity is 25. Zoom is different. So that's definitely something that's attractive to me, Karen. Thank you for sharing that. Case had several suppliers use different systems for their meetings. Webinar has always been the easiest to join the meetings. Some are not able to get in at all. Not sure if there are any issues on Zoom. Yeah, every once in a while you click it, it doesn't work, it works. Some require you to have something on your computer to join, some don't. But I appreciate that, Kay. Thank you. Nancy said, good news to share. Okay, so Nancy's got, I want to make sure I come back to Nancy. She's got good news to share. Dawn said, hi, Dawn. I think Zoom is more accepted for audience participation. And that's right. GoToWebinar was built more as a teaching platform, right? Not necessarily for interaction, although I can get you all on as panelists at any time, and you could put your webcam on. That's why we couldn't do it before. Couldn't get your webcams on because actually in a mastermind group, because we used GoToWebinar and your attendees. We'd have to only use your mics if we unmuted you versus that. So Lakeisha's in the house. Good morning, Lakeisha. Glad you're here. So we've got, Karen says she's willing to turn on a webcam. Very, very cool. All right, hang on there. Doreen, I am willing to role play and turn on my webcam. Awesome. So Doreen, you're talking about for our next power hour, right? Unless you want me to try your webcam today. We'll do that for the role playing. I think that's what you're suggesting, which is awesome. Thank you, Doreen. Kyle's in the house. Hello, Kyle. Kyle said, I'm writing, just wrote a LinkedIn article and working on social media posts. Did you hear that, friends? Let us be inspired. Let us be inspired. Kyle, I'm going to read it again. Wrote a LinkedIn article, and I've been publishing my articles on LinkedIn as well, and working on social media posts. Awesome, Kyle. Thank you for sharing and inspiring. Lori's in the house. Lori said, yes, I was thinking of sending my clients a short note with a picture of an upside down bird. Well, there you go. Something cute, something funny, something that tells a story. Anything, I think sending out stuff is very important. I really do. Be thoughtful, be sensitive, and just let them know that you're thinking about it. Dan said, I always do a soft intelligence screen of people on Facebook and LinkedIn. There you go. I like that. A soft intelligence screening. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I do the same thing, right, Dan? It's important to know because we don't want anybody posting on our walls or I don't know, just doing goofy stuff. There's no time for that. There's so much goofy stuff out there. Dan said, I followed the lead of many of the travel companies that have sent out that we are thinking about you. Okay, I used an existing CEO's email as a baseline for my own and sent it to my clients. I had a couple of people who opted out, but the feedback from many more was positive and reassuring. There you go. Hey, friends, you don't have to rewrite those words. I'm getting emails all day long from CEOs of companies too. And one of our bootcamp members, Nana, I'm not sure if she's on right now, she actually sent to me a few sentences that she was sending out to her clients. She said, Stuart, what do you think? So I said, well, you asked, I'll tell you, I'm a coach. And I said, it's one thing to say, listen, friends, it's one thing to say, to give empathy. Hey, I'm with you, blah, 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 wish you good health, It's altogether another to say, if you have any questions or concerns about what's happening in travel and hospitality, whether it's about your cruise or your trip or whatever, just call, please call. If you see something that confuses you, send me the link, I'll check it out. So it's one thing, friends, to say, I'm with you, I love you, sending best wishes and da-da-da-da-da. It's altogether another to say, I'm here for you, I'm in your pocket, I'm on standby should you have a question, or should anybody in your family have questions about travel. I am connected directly to the vendors and suppliers. Okay, that's great stuff. Thank you, Dan, for sharing that. Kyle said, be a leader and be positive with the messages you put out. Couldn't agree with you more. Thank you, Kyle, for reinforcing that. Okay, let's see here. Doreen said, correct, the April 16 session for the webcam. That is awesome. Okay, so let me go back here and let me see. Let's do the microphone thing real quick. So Nancy, if you're ready, I'm going to turn your mic on, and because you said you have something brief. So come on brief, because I've got a lot of questions and stuff. Very excited to share. So Nancy, let me go to your microphone. Hang on there. Oh, Jennifer, you're in the house. Hey, Jennifer, you really inspired me when you had offered that that you had actually offered to help people who never book with you, had booked direct, or just potentially online. Okay, Nancy, you have been unmuted and it's not green, so there we go. Hey.
Hey, Stuart, how are you?
I'm great. As my good friend Don Hudson says, he probably heard me mention his name. He says, I'm great and I'll get better.
Same for all of us, I think. Hey, good news is I just got an email from the Holiday Inn in Washington, D.C., where I had a $1,000 non-refundable deposit on the contract for a group that that actual event is now being held online, so no need for our bus to go down to D.C. Mm-hmm. But the first two correspondents with the sales manager said, sorry, that's what it says in the contract. You can't refund that money. And then I pushed a little further and asked him if he could check with someone else at that hotel brand, someone corporate, and he just got back to me this morning and said, yes, they got through and they're refunding the money. So wow. That's really good news, because the Poor People's Campaign, which is what this was for, was willing to swallow that for me, which was also very kind. So that's all. Also, I did write an article about a different worldly phenomenon, the migration of the monarch butterflies, just something totally different. So that's all. That's all.
There you go. Hey, listen. You know, writing, it doesn't have to be travel. If you have other passions, other things, it's a beautiful time to write, especially when, you know, our days could be so emotion filled. Just sitting there and write, like here at Tennessee, we got a gorgeous day today. It's not raining, first time in a long time. Take these opportunities, you know, give yourself an hour, 2 hours, half day to write, and, you know, snuggle up there and share some beautiful words with other people. Nancy, thanks for putting your mic on. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Put you back on mute. Okay, let me get to Karen's question. She said, if we are starting to grow our group business, I've always believed it should start with my interests, my passions, what they're about. And in her case, her passions are food and wine, golf, and garden. Is that a good place to start? And the answer is absolutely yes. And I'm so glad you asked this question. We have so many travel entrepreneurs over the years. They want to do groups, and you know, they get a couple of groups here and there and here. What I'm telling you is, and this is hindsight, I'm giving you hindsight, I'm giving you observations. You know, I was on the corporate side in travel and hospitality, starting off in the field as a DSM, working my way up to, you know, vice president and senior vice president of companies. And I've been blessed to see a lot of businesses succeed and fail. Now, that's not a blessing to see when they fail. The blessing is the knowledge, understanding, and learning why, so that I can come back and be a more effective keynote speaker, workshop deliverer, author, business coach. That's what I'm talking about when I say blessed. And no doubt, Karen and everybody else, and this is going to resonate with you if you're already doing this. When you really, really, really are authentic, not only in your leadership, but if you're authentic in your business, when you say you're an expert in an area, and you really are. It's one thing you've got a certificate on the wall, you're certified to sell this one, is certified. That's beautiful, it's wonderful. But that doesn't mean that you have a true passion, okay? When you really get to exercise what you love to do, love to talk about, love to experience most personally, if you make it more about you, because I actually have this expression I've used in keynotes before, it's all about you, and it's not about you. It has to start with about it all being about you, because then it will come easier. If you have to have a conversation with people or make a presentation or sell something, it will be easier because it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's not work, right? And then when it's about you, it's not about you. When it's not about you, that means you can't just push something on somebody if they want to go, if they don't want to go golfing, if they don't want to do a group. We have to listen more than ever before, right? Listen more than ever before. And as Mike Marshev says, either I can help you or I can't, right? So yes, Karen, and it's a great place to start. I guarantee you that the narrower, hard word for me to say, your niche, your focus, the more successful you will be. That almost sounds like I'm talking, oxymorons or opposites here, but it is true. The more specific you are, the easier it is for you to write your story, market, know what products to use, know what clients you want, but more importantly, they'll know if you're going to be that gal or that guy. They'll get it. Oh, I need you. One more story here. Years and years ago, I was a DSM with Costa, then a BDM with Celebrity. No, not Celebrity. Oh my gosh, with Princess. I was director of sales with Celebrity. And I remember early on when Alaska was just taking off as a big destination and other cruise lines were going there, one agency in New Jersey declared themselves the Alaska expert. That's it. That's it. And I know them well. They're dear friends. It was wonderful. I saw them at inaugural last year or the year before. They're still at it. You'd think, oh my gosh, too many people doing Alaska now. Why is that a specialty? Well, it is. So they were among the first to declare a specialty. They love Alaska. And they said, that's it. We are the Alaska experts. And don't you know, if you have a consumer out there and they see thousands of travel professionals they could pick from, but they want to go to Alaska, who are they going to pick? They're not going to pick the travel professional who's got deals and sales and going on with a million different products, but they're going to pick that one little agency that says, it's all we do. Alaska. You want the best? You come here. You want the best? Forget the rest. All right, let me see here. Hang on. I got to go see Doreen, Dan. Hold on. I got to go. Stick with me here. Nancy was on. Lakeisha's here. Okay, Karen. Karen, question I have for you. You want your webcam on right now, or do you want it in the come on, Stuart. Come on. There you go. It's called ADHD, and whatever I was going to say is about 52 miles away because I'm 52 miles to the east, not to the west right now, for our role play exercise. So just let me know, Karen, and I'll know. Doreen, I know you're in. Lori, we already read. Kyle, Karen. Okay, Doreen. Okay. Lori, just refreshed my entire website. Now working on batching a bunch of social media, completed some training in my niche, boot camp refresh on the list. Never any boredom here. Lori, thank you. You've just given me and everyone else inspiration. She refreshed her website. Now she's working on social media, and she's completing training and is going to go back in a boot camp to catch up on stuff. And let me tell you something. If you've missed these power hours before, every single one is on YouTube. Every one is there. There's got to be 100 of them, going back to 2015 when I launched. Jennifer said, thanks, glad to be here. I'm so glad you're here, Jennifer. Linda's in the house. She says, good job, Nancy. All right. Julia's here. She said, I found a Pied Piper radio host for garden tours I've been wanting to do. We were talking about a river cruise or a flower show in Europe. I'm not sure if anyone is going to want to visit Europe next year. I'm not sure how to pursue at this point. I want to read this again because I want to get your feedback too, and I want to give you my thought on it, Julia. So here we go. I found a Pied Piper, a radio host for garden tours I've been wanting to do. We're talking about a river cruise or a flower show in Europe. Not sure if anyone's going to want to go to Europe next year. I'm not sure how to pursue this at this point. So here's what I would say off the cuff to you, Julia. Keep the dialogue going. Keep the conversations going. Positive perspective that in 2021, there could be a rush. There could be a rush, and I believe we need to manifest what we want to happen. I need, that's that positivity attitude, and while you speak to your prospects, their prospects, Julia, and everybody, of course, you want to be factual and say there's no indication Europe is going to be closed or open next year. We're all hoping, we're all praying that Europe's going to be back open, and we're going to resume normalcy as we've all done in the past. Okay, so let's keep having these conversations, and let's keep dreaming. Let's keep dreaming. Have these meetings, take these notes, and what you're going to do, Julie, you're going to say, look, I'm going to stay as we further sharpen our vision of what this awesome trip would look like. I'm going to keep my eye out. I have a direct connection to Armor Waterways, whoever you're using, and I'll be right up to speed. I'll be the first to let you know. So Julia and everybody, if you're working on future opportunities, and I sure hope you are, with clients or prospects or unclients who are willing to talk about stuff down the road, maybe you've already had these conversations going, keep the dialogues going, keep the meetings going. Being sensitive that you're not asking for commitments now, right? But you're going to say, I got a notebook here. Let's catch up. Did some research for you. What do you think of this? Keep on planning. Keep on planning. I'm doing that. I'm doing that with clients, potential clients right now. Not selling, being sensitive to it, but say, let's keep talking. Let's keep having conversations. We want to be ready when that phone call comes, when that email comes, when the world is open for business. Who is it that I saw is out there? Maybe a lot of people, companies and people are saying, hey, it's intermission. We'll be back. It's intermission, And I'm not being all Pollyanna here, friends. I know that there's some serious stuff going on. People are getting real sick. We're losing people. People are losing jobs, furloughs. I know it. I'm in touch. I get it. My amazing wife, she works in a hospital. She goes in every day. So basically our rhythm of work hasn't changed. I work from my home office. She goes to work every day. And other people have. We got to keep pressing on. At leadership moment, be steadfast. Okay, Dan said, I have those that are afraid to travel and those that are looking to be opportunistic. Are the rates cheaper, more availability? So that's just it, Dan. Isn't that interesting? Everyone is reacting differently. We need to be sensitive that we can have 5 phone calls with 5 different people, and all 5 are going to be coming at this in different ways. They may be afraid to go to the phone and they're afraid to catch something. I mean, look, right? We got people on all opposite ends of the spectrum. We got people who are seriously fear-filled, and they don't even want to have a conversation about it. I would like to stay in the game, keep talking about it. There's no intermission for me. Of course, I got no money coming in right now, but who does? But this ain't no intermission. I'm planning stuff. I'm having conversations with people. And if they say, no, Stuart, we don't need your, I'm offering free stuff. We don't need it. I'm like, okay, at least they'll remember I offered it to them. So, there are going to be opportunistic people who are like, hey, Dan, as soon as you see they got those rates posted, we want to be first in. And friends, each and every one of you on this call, you need to be on the top of their list for that phone call. That's why I said before in my opening slides, it's okay to say to people, listen, do you want me to keep my eye on anything for you? That's okay, right? What can I keep an eye on for you? Because then you got all this stuff queued up, and man, when it comes back, it's going to be big, really big. Kay said, I will book into 2021, but have booked a group in 2022. There you go. Hey, listen, river cruise groups, any kind of group that is more complex, that is longer in nature, okay, now's the time you're going to be planning for 2022 anyway. So thank you, Kay, for reminding me to remind you that kind of stuff you'd be already doing right now. And you may not have pricing mechanisms yet. That's okay. But back to Julia, you could be planning, you could be visualizing, having these creative brainstorming sessions. Karen said, Julia, start a manila folder so that every time you see an article on garden tours, put them in that folder. So when you're ready, you have a great selection of options. Brilliant. I do that. I have, well, you don't want to see what my desk and my floor looks like right now. Wow. I literally trip on the way in and on the way out. In any case, and my wife still gives me grace. She's like, that's okay. It's your office. But this is the way I organize. I have to put everything everywhere. But I got folders everywhere, and I have folders on my computer too. So when I get emails about certain subjects, they go in there, or I save them on my computer. I print them out as a PDF, or I print them on a PDF on the computer, and I save them. So you build up a library. This way, it's right there in your folder when you need it. Hey, listen, we've got 8 minutes left, so make sure, dear friends, that you post comments or questions so I make sure I get to them. I'm so glad you're here, truly. And I'm so glad that GoToWebinar is working, because I've been afraid that their servers are being taxed. And when we did our almost 3-hour town hall for the industry, man, right? You were there. It was going up and down, but we stayed strong. We did it. It was just nuts. Jennifer said, to be honest, I'm struggling with the opportunist. I want to tell them off. Of course, I don't. So Jennifer, I appreciate your being authentic here and raw. There's no doubt. I said we got people all into the spectrum here. And I'm not getting any kind of politics here whatsoever, other than if you're friends, if you're dealing with somebody, and you, Jennifer, who you feel is a little too opportunistic, maybe looking to take advantage, it's kind of pushing your buttons, it's making you uncomfortable, it's coming across a bit greedy. And Jennifer, I think we can define opportunistic on a scale as well, right? Opportunistic here, opportunistic here. So, opportunistic can lead to greed. And honest to goodness, friends, if you have a client, unclient, prospect, or shopper that's making you uncomfortable, you don't need to do business with them. I know you may see dollar signs, but it's so important that you work with somebody who you enjoy working with, because at the end of the day, to be super successful over the long haul, it's imperative. I'm going to say something very important now. It's imperative that you create a more relational relationship than a transactional relationship. right? So if you have somebody or people, whatever, I'm sure you do, who are just purely transactional and they beat you down of a price and they drive you bananas and drive you crazy, maybe it's time to fire them. Have you ever fired a client? I used to do whole workshops on that. How do you fire a client? It's freeing because you can take that time and that stress and say, bye-bye, and give more time to the people you really enjoy working with so you can have more relational time than transactional time, because relational time is going to come back to you in big ways down the road, because you'll wake up, remember, TGIM, thank goodness it's Monday, because I'm working with people I love working with. Scott said we just finished our site for blogs and landing pages that are targeting our specialties, which we targeted. We launch in a week. Scott, thanks, thumbs up, be inspired, everybody. You hear this, there's not just a mindset thing going on here, but there's motion. It's one thing, it's mindset, but there's got to be motion, forward motion. Good for you, Scott. And if you're willing to share with us, go ahead and post it at boot camp so we can take a look. I'd love to see it. That's beautiful. Lena from Travel Agent Hacks is here. My dear friend Lena. So good to see your name. So listen here. Did a poll yesterday to my Facebook contacts. Very interesting results. Here are some results. Listen up, everybody. 10% will do staycations in the near future. Of all participants, 16% will start doing all their travel in the US, while the rest are ready to travel internationally. I'm going to read this again. 71% are not afraid to start traveling again. Wow. But 63% will not want to go on a cruise. And 87% will purchase travel insurance when they travel. I'm going to read that again. This is very interesting. We need to adjust to this because some people are making short-term strategic travel plans. Naturally, short-term could be the next couple of years, and some could be long-term and permanent. Right, friends? I mean, I can't even believe these words are going to come out of my mouth, but there could be some people who were comfortable cruising who may never be again. I hope they will. There are some people who were thinking of cruising and we're never going to go now. Some people who have always cruised who are comfortable going back, because you don't hear about, gosh forbid, you don't hear about issues and viruses and that happen in hotels because they come in, they come out. It's transient. On a cruise ship, you hear more about it. So, I love the cruise industry. I love cruising. So, preaching to the choir. Let me read this again real quick. So we've got a few other comments I want to make sure we get to. Got about 2 minutes left. This is from Lena from Travel Agent Hacks. Here are the results. 10% will do staycations in the near future. Of all participants, 16% will start doing all their travel in the US, while the rest are ready to travel internationally. Fascinating. 71% are not afraid to start traveling again, but 63% will not want to go on a cruise. 87% will purchase travel insurance when traveling. Lena, have you posted this in Travel Agent Hacks, and or would you share this in our boot camp group, our Facebook group, whatever you're comfortable doing, because the more this is interesting for us to know. It really is. I appreciate you sharing. Nancy said, thanks again. Comforting to hear your voice. Yes, beautiful day in Tennessee. That's right. Nancy's in Tennessee. She's on the east side. I'm on the west side, but we're in the same state. So we got a gorgeous day today, and I should be working outside. As soon as it breaks 60, I'll be outside. Jennifer said, that's what I'm doing. I'm just not responding to those on the greedy end of the opportunistic spectrum. There you go. So it's either you don't respond or you say, hey, I'm not the one to help you here. I'm not the one to help you. We build relations, whatever. Totally up to you. But thank you, Jennifer, for confirming that. Lakeisha said, I finished updating my website and started a newsletter. I've gotten 4 people who booked trips for November. I want to do the happy dance, Lakeisha, right now. Good for you. I finished updating my website, started a newsletter, gotten 4 people book trips for November. This is beautiful. Get them lined up right now, friends. It's a leadership moment. It's a leadership moment. Dan said, how many people that won't cruise were previous cruisers? I don't know. I don't know if Lena has that information or if anybody else does, or if we just don't know yet. And Lena said she's going to write a report. Thank you so much. Hey, listen, that's it. We're at time. I hope you got something out of today. I know I did. I'm so grateful you're here, whether you are a current boot camper or somebody who I said, come on back, alumni, come on back the whole month of April. And I'm going to see if I can do the role playing for next time. Shoot me an email if you want to be one of those participating and want to give that webcam a shot. And by the way, if you want to test it out, if you want to see if it works at all, just send me an email and we'll set up a quick go-to-meeting. We'll set up a time and nobody else will be on, just us kids, and we'll see if it works. I'm here at my desk. I'm not going anywhere. And we can give it a shot. That would be fun, right? Hey, everybody, this is a leadership moment. Go be that leader. The only thing you need to be selling is your good name.